Now, I have a story that is all too familiar in this economic climate of house foreclosures, ripping families from their homes, and animals from their families. I went out to TRACS to visit with one of their special animals.
As Cody and I drove up Cherry Creek Road, past the end of the paved way, we had to mentally prepare ourselves for what was to come. Finding the mailbox that says, "Beware of dogs," we found the Thompson River Animal Care Shelter, and knew the story ahead was not going to be an easy one. You see, with the spring holiday of Easter past us, we knew there was one lonely, out-of-work world icon spending its days wondering where to live and how to make ends meet for the rest of the year. That public figure? The Easter Bunny. With the economy in the shape that it's in, it's hard for a rabbit to find an honest line of work. But the will of this bright-eyed bunny wasn't shaken, because he's in the good hands of TRACS, a shelter for animals with no place to call home, where they can relax and not worry where their next meal will come from. With the assistance of its many valiant volunteers, this non-profit halfway house can accommodate the needs of these animals and give them the love they need until a good home can be found. Love and hope abound here as the animals know that someday someone will give them solace and call them family. There are many friends to be made here.
They're very affectionate kitties out here at TRACS.
Cody made a new friend, and bringing a video camera seems to bring out the best in these gentle beasts. Although most of the animals here are healthy as a horse, some arrive at TRACS with health issues that must be addressed. TRACS gives them a brighter life than living on the streets in a vagabond life of crime. As for the Easter Bunny, a year's vacation would be just fine if there were a loving family to spend it with. Thank you, Thompson River Animal Care Shelter, for brightening this reporter's day. I'm Justin Harris. Back to you.
Good job, Justin, and a great story. And the Thompson River Animal Care Shelter is always looking for help, be it via volunteering or monetary donation. If you would like to help, visit TRACS on the web at pet/tracs.com. You can email them at shelter@tracs.com or call them at 827-TRACS. Or you can send your donations to TRACS at P.O. Box 1589, Thompson Falls, Montana, 59873.
Gotta help out the dogs and cats at TRACS. On to other news. The Blue Slide Road overhaul project is once again being delayed.
This is news?
No, not really, I guess.
Well, we've been following this story for over a year now. This whole get the Blue Slide Road fixed seems a lot like trying to find weapons of mass destruction in a desert country that doesn't have them.
Kind of, I guess. Well, there are a lot of things that need to be considered before an undertaking like this can begin.
Like?
Well, like easements along private property and state property.
Well, that's old news from last year. Some might have to move fence lines or lose parts of their property completely, yada yada yada.
Well, now there's the added hassle of Northern Lights and Blackfoot Telecommunications having to move a few power poles before construction can begin.
Well, that's obvious. This wasn't taken into account a year ago?
Probably. But the utilities part of the project cannot commence until it's been designed, drafted, and engineered. And landowners residing up the Blue Slide should keep their ear to the ground, as they may be contacted regarding fence and property lines.
Well, I've got to say, this new delay comes as no surprise to me. Growing up on the Blue Slide Road, I've heard talk of this for years. I'm just glad we've got Commissioner Tony Cox in our side of the ring to keep this issue fresh and continually pursuing the necessary entities, keeping them on task, so to speak.
He's behind the cause 100%, and frustration with delays won't get him down. If all goes as planned, construction should begin next spring.
How much do you want to bet that not everything goes as planned?
Well, I guess it'll just be smoother potholes till the next year.
I guess. Moving on. So, how was the 21st Annual Flatiron Quilting Guild show?
Well,
As I stepped into the Thompson Falls High School gym, I was immediately greeted by smiling faces and a dizzying array of patterns, colors, shapes, and, well, quilts. With the theme of Big Sky Attitude, quilters far and wide came to display their projects for view and sale. Montana flowers, landscapes, and themes adorned the walls, and the amount of creativity and specialization in this age-old tradition was mind-blowing. Now, I'm no professional quilter, but my appreciation of the many hours put into these quilts and the attention to detail gave me a lot to think about. A blanket made with this much focused care would be much warmer in my mind than a factory-made throw. With activities for kids and even children's projects on display, I realize this trade is something very important to be passed on generation to generation, right up there in priority with how to grow food. And with the dedication of these warmth-creating artists, the quilting tradition will last for years to come. Prizes were awarded for different categories, and onlookers were welcome to observe, touch, and handle these beautiful tapestries. There were other practical and ingenious items on display by the vendors, including revolutionary cookware and brilliant works of wood, some of which I just had to try out for myself. That chair was comfortable. And look at this 3-in-1 ironing board chair step stool. Stuff like that really floats my boat. Brilliant. High-tech sewing machines and other contraptions handy to a quilter also made an appearance. Some were even available in raffles or as door prizes. All just tools of the trade for someone who knows how to use them. In short, the 21st Annual Quilting Guild Show was a bright experience that I will absolutely have to attend next year. Many thanks to those who made this event possible, and the many quilters who put so much time and effort into some amazing pieces.
Well, that looked real fun.
It was.
And you were saying before the show some of those quilts were done by children?
Yeah, some of these kids really knew what they were doing.
Yeah, with these high-tech sewing machines out today, they probably have no problem applying today's technology to an old-time tradition.
Kids these days, so tech-savvy.
Okay, my son Declan has put the we in Spanish. Okay, see, hold on, everything's in Spanish. Noticias. Okay, Declan, how do I change it back to English? Go there?
Yes.
Okay, now what? Go there?
Yes.
Now where?
Arrow.
Arrow?
Arrow.
Arrow? Okay. English. Okay, yeah. What's that say?
No. I don't know.
Now what?
Back.
Back?
Back.
Back?
Wii Sports now.
Wii Sports.
Okay.
Now it's in English. Hey, Declan.
What?
Thanks, man.
It's hard to believe how quickly they pick up on the ins and outs of computers, phones, and other technology-driven devices.
Seriously, it's not like there's a bunch of classes and workshops for them to know which files are dangerous for download or how to send attachments or text with nifty abbreviations and the like.
Yeah, if only there was some way us less savvy folks could get caught up in the information race.
Why not right from the horse's mouth?
Now horses have an edge on me too?
Probably not. I'm not too sure, but what I meant was, why not just get the kids themselves to teach you?
Oh, I see. Well, that's a great idea, but I can't understand what they're talking about half the time.
Well, this should make it easier. The Trout Creek School will be holding a steak dinner fundraiser featuring students from Trout Creek, showing people like us the ins and outs of modern technology.
Steak and computers. I guess they go hand in hand.
And don't worry about being left behind in the technobabble. The teachers of these students can tell you the kids can communicate effectively and make things so easy, a Neanderthal could do it.
Kind of like a Tech for Dummies class.
Well, they didn't want to call it that. I think it's more like a friendly coaxing to those who haven't quite converted into the 21st century.
I'm sold. Where do I need to be and when?
Well, plan on attending the Community Tech Night at the Trout Creek School Thursday, May 6th from 6 to 7:30 p.m. Contact the school at 827-3629 to reserve your plate for a steak dinner. All proceeds go to assist the Trout Creek School in continual funding of the arts, music, and field trips.
Well, that sounds like a worthy cause. Maybe I can finally learn how to open my emails.
Maybe.